what's going on, guys? Welcome to an FTG video series, because I don't know, video episode series. I'm always used to saying FTG live series. This is kind of still live because I'm still recording it live to me. But anyway, thank you for tuning into this mod showcase. This is a mod showcase on the new CSZ, really front end loader. You've got your telehandler, skid steer, your front loader. Tools pack. That's what we'll call it. We'll just call it a tools pack. It's huge. There's a ton of stuff in it. Tons of little things and little nitpicky things here to break down. And just so if you're at work and you're like, hey, what's in that new mod pack? I saw all the stuff in it. Let me see if I can find a video. Hopefully this video serves you well. Took me a little while to kind of figure some things out because there's things, especially on the console, that are different. So I'm going to take a really quick walkthrough of just the different tools. What they are, what they do, what we do have access with here on console, and some other specialty tools as I'm kind of walking around right here. You'll see a few other things featured in this that are definitely on the different. We'll just call them we're different on a console level. I'm not used to seeing this kind of level of quality in mods for consoles, especially when it comes to just tools in general. You'll notice very quickly the animations are on point, the modeling on point with the cable management, the hydraulic lines that are running from the different pistons. I mean, this is well modeled stuff. So these guys here modeling the CSZ pack, now they did a phenomenal job. So let's jump right to it. Let's do this. Let's just run real quick through everything, what we've got. I'll show some of the different features that we do have with some of these, and then we'll try a few things out, and I'll kind of point out some different stuff that we don't normally see on console as much. If you're PC, you guys kind of see this more often, so you'll have to excuse my general excitement for things like this, because I always love things that kind of extend the game in any way, shape, or form, whether it's small ways, whether it's large ways. I'm always for expanding, especially sandbox games. Eventually, the 3x3 sandbox that they put a kid in, eventually he wants to put the sand outside the box because he wants to expand. So that's kind of, I think console guys are always wanting to be able to expand a little bit more. So hopefully this kind of helps you do that in your own respective farms, especially for all you console guys. And so here we go. Actually, let's do this. I said I was going to do this first. So here we have a 2-spike bell fork. These are all pretty much generic. This one's the same. It's just a little bit bigger. It's a little bit wider. So you can carry a little bit more on this one. Nice animations. The kind of tannish part there in the top does spring out of there. We'll showcase this one since I'm right here in front of it. I'm in the case Puma, by the way, if anybody's curious. Oh, folded out, and you'll notice very quick here the animations with all the different parts are really nice. The hydraulic piston there in the back really looks good. So first thing off, most of all of these things have a closed cover option. Now you'll notice really quick that this thing pulls the pins for you, puts it down, and then lifts it up or does whatever. Now this is great because if you're wanting to do something with the right bumper, and you switching views around, that it's not lifting and retracting those arms up top like the other ones that we have, which is kind of cool. The other thing that that we're going to focus on through some of these other mods is what's always aggravating to me. It's still hard for me to be able, because you can't see what's going on in front of you, and it's different if you've got an arm. And when you know inside the cab here that if you push a button or push a lever down, that it's going to lower the whole entire arm and keep it level to the ground. We don't really have that option on console, or even if you're using a controller you can, but still if you're a little bit off, then you can wind up tilting it up and down just like that. But what I want to focus on is look where the camera is actually centered at an imaginary spot in front of the forks, which I think is ingenious, because normally this is your chased outside view of the tractor. Your focus is on the center of the tractor. It probably focused on a CG or center of gravity There's probably a value, a numeric value that you can see inside, when you open this up inside of a text file, open the tractor up, there's probably something that determines exactly where the center of this tractor is. And that's where the viewpoint always puts to. Well, actually, they've added in, so a part of this, you have your inside cab view, and then you actually have this, which zooms in, zooms out, and stays and keeps what you're doing in front of you and even moves with it. So you don't even have to move your camera. I mean, I think this is great. Now, as you drive around, it's the same story. It's always going to stay right there. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's going to stay there. If you're lifting up, then so does your camera. Now, you can still free camera it and at least put it in a place that you like. But if you want to put it right here, as long as you have this little option right here, let me get to it, this reset vehicle camera. So it remembers the camera position per the vehicle once you exit it. So once you exit out of this vehicle, go somewhere else, this view is going to save right here, which I think is great. So make sure that that particular thing is turned off, because that means it will keep it. If you turn it on, then that means that it is going to reset every single time you jump out of this view. So if you want to put it right here, let's say right here off the corner of, yeah, there you go, right off the corner. So if you go back to, I like to do a lot of things in cab view, so we'll pull back, and there you go, it's right there. You got your chase view, could do something else. Let's say chase, maybe you want it just to see, maybe right there. So we'll put in, we'll get close, then we'll see exactly what we're looking at here, and then we'll see how close we are. So you got 3 camera views that can hopefully make your work around the farm a lot faster and a lot quicker. So that's my big thing on those. I love that. Most of all these mods have the same exact thing, which is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love it. Alright, so here is our round bell fork. Now this one's pretty self-explanatory. Opens and closes. Now this is at best going to pick up 2 bells. It's not going to pick up 3 unless you're just really good at balancing. It doesn't matter, whichever one you use. They're all still the same style. But this has a cool little, you see this palette that's in front of me now. This is kind of the same thing as the other ones. It has what they call an open cover. So what happens, you'll see the actual bolts unscrew, the nuts, the bolts slide out, there goes the thing, and there it's back on your pallet again. So now you could carry that pallet and stick it up wherever you want to, but you can be really far away from that thing. And since it's attached to the open cover, it's kind of like it's always there, it's just not actually quote-unquote there. And then you can see it'll fasten it right back on the tractor, which is pretty awesome. I definitely like that. Now this one has the same exact thing. You can focus right in on top of your bale if you want to. I typically like a view like this, to where you can kind of get in there close, but it's always hard to do that when you're doing like this, because as you can see, it's always in the kind of the far end corner of your video viewpoint there. So being able to have this on hand to really kind of get you up and close to the action, hopefully is going to make the experience of doing some of these more tedious operations, like messing with square bells, round bells, any of that other stuff, maybe that helps make it a little bit more doable. I actually love messing with bells, but it's taken me a while to kind of figure out how to get to that point in regards to having to set viewpoints and what works best and what I can kind of move in and out of different areas fairly quickly. So we've got the standard, just the wrapped bell holder here, which is same as we always have on any of the rest of them. It still has the center of the viewpoint. There's nothing too ridiculously, there's nothing fancy. It just works. The one thing you'll find is it doesn't have the offset arms, so everything's exactly even the way it should be. It's just a simple operation, just like everything else. You've got your up and down and tilting of the pitch, and then you've got open and close. So same as all the rest of it. Now here you've got a single pallet fork and a double pallet fork. So if you've got something that you've got them stacked side by side and you've run them really close together, then this one will pick them up 2 at a time. It's going to be a little bit, I won't say it's not necessarily harder, it's just a little bit more work getting all the pallets together so you can pick them up side by side. It would be nice, I think, probably. Um, it would be nice if you, whenever you pick this up, if you actually had the ability to swing them in and out, which you don't. You just have your up and down, your in and out. So standard on that. Now this is the one that I'm interested to see. I don't have any really right now to put my fingers on, but this is same thing. So open cover and close cover. Now you see it comes with this palette in front of me right here. Now when you close the cover, it puts it onto your thing. Now what this is a palette with a squeezable thing on it. So I guess you can stack it up like this if you wanted to, but also think about this as the let's say you've knocked over something like a I don't know, any pallet you've knocked it over on its side. This right here is going to allow you to stick the forks down into the pallet hole and then close down on it and then flip it back over. Now there's going to be some things, as you can see, the height of this thing is going to, you're not going to be able to do this with food, pig food, any of that stuff. This is generally going to be something that you're going to be using with this big water trailer over here. We'll I mean, sorry, not water, fertilizer. Let's just see. We'll go ahead and do it while we're here. Why not? Let's spin this thing around a little bit, because that's how it's supposed to get in here. And there we go. We'll spin it like that. But we'll extend it up. Get our forks lined up there. Let's just use my my new camera view here. You can see how well this works. So there's that. Now obviously you can pick it up like normal and see it's going to be right there on it. See, this one doesn't even pick up. So maybe if you want to stack some things, then it's very possible that, I guess, if your tractor can actually do it, you can stack these on top of one another and pull them off 2 by 2. So there's you another. Keep that in mind as you're going along with it. So let's set this back off. There we go. And then we're back to our set there. All right. So now the new thing. I'm gonna say new. I'll just cover the few that I definitely know about. Now we have 2 different log forks here. I'll get to this right here a little bit later. We'll get that right until we get into the buckets. So we've got 2 things right here, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop time here so I don't run out of daylight on us. Looks like sun's setting pretty quick. So we've got a single log fork and a double log fork. Now this works the same on telehandlers, on front end loaders, front loaders, all the same, and skid steers. You can use these with an attachment from the skid steer, which is pretty nice. The one thing that I'll say about this is that you're seeing them in their fully closed position. So basically we have the pallet forks, which is actually nice because it's got a nice wedge there, pops the logs up. I actually have used this just to kind of get an idea about it, so I didn't say anything wrong in the video that would, mislead you to another particular way that I was thinking about maybe doing something. But this one has this is as far down closed as they get. So by saying that, what I mean is you're not going to be able to pinch logs up and pick them up with this like you could with the telehandler. I really like the telehandler fork that came in the game, but you only see, that's part of the vanilla game, but you don't ever see, no one's ever modded another log fork that's able to actually pinch a log up and be able to secure it inside its grapple and then drop it in the trailer. Everything that we have, you have to balance it perfectly, or you have to get a bunch of those together and pick up a massive logs together so that you can put them in a trailer, which is very frustrating because it doesn't really work that well. And no one's ever done a log fork that is able to do that. So these still work, don't get me wrong, they just work like all the rest of them. So you have to be mindful of that. It's just how it is. It's these aren't necessarily going to change from the log fork, although it does give you a couple more. I did notice that the physics and the animations in between where the logs would always jumble and stuff doesn't seem as bad, but you just can't pick up as much with that as you could, say, with the regular log fork that came in the vanilla game for the front loader or any of the rest. Now the one thing that it does give you the option to do that we did not have is it does give you the option to store or be able to lift up those logs with a front end loader, telehandler, the front loader, which is the big ones, and then the skid steer, which is something we did not have. So I guess if that's going to be our, if that's going to be our case on that, then I guess it it does and works like it's supposed to. So here's a this is a kind of a cool. We'll get into the buckets here. Whoops. There we go. All right, so what you're seeing here is a silage bucket. Now this thing will pull up a bunch of one kind, or it will mix it. They consider this a mixer too. So once you hop in your trailer, you'll see everything just like you would a mixer. Now there is, let me get to the front end loader, the front loaders over here. So you'll notice with each one of these buckets, they all have something different. Now these two are the manure buckets, back and forth. You've only got one that has the grabber on top, which gives you an extra 500 liters. Now we're used to seeing things in pounds. So if you see some of these original ones, you'll see them as 2,500 or whatever the case may be, 1540, 1280. These will actually pull in. Let me get to them. Here we go. So these pull 3,000 liters, 3,500 liters, and 3,000, 4,000. So 4,000 is the biggest that we have. 3,500 is on this one. Now, if you're doing liters to pounds, that's a little bit. You're going from a volumetric conversion over to, this American weight, which is a little different. So it depends on how you're measuring the weight. If you're measuring the liters of water, then that would be this different if you're measuring liters of another liquid. So you're trying to convert, because liquids usually in liters comes as a volumetric, like a cube, rather than an actual weight on a flat surface. So kind of get that through your head. Just look at the liters. Don't worry about trying to convert to pounds, but somewhere around the 7,800 to 75 to 85 to 8,800 pounds per 3,500 versus 4,000 liters. So almost kind of, you just think it's almost double in weight. So it's a little bit of a different, kind of a funny conversion to think of, but anyway, we'll just go with this. It picks up a lot. you see the size of the buckets, like, yeah, that probably picks up a lot. So we have a couple of things. These right here only pick up potatoes and beets. So not all the buckets. If you have any of these other buckets, they will not pick up potatoes and beets. You have to have the buckets for beets and potatoes to pick them up, which I think is kind of cool. It's it is what it is on that front. I just like it. It looks good. So we've got a couple other things. Multi-purpose buckets. Now you can see these are with. You'll see that they're with the side. Oh shoot. Here you go. Excavated profile versus a profile grain. So you've got both of these, which adds in the little fins there, the red parts. That adds in the fins. If you're on an excavated profile, if you add that profile grain in there, then it adds those on there, which of course is just a little bit of an extra option there on that. And same way with the multi-purpose. Now I'm not going to go through all these. All of these do the same thing from these buckets on till you get to the silage one. But they also have the buckets with grabbers. You have two different size buckets. You've got all the way down to 3,500, then you've got 4,000, then you get 3,500 on this. This adds in a lot more, which we can actually go to the other side and look at those. And then the silage bucket. Now, the one thing that you can do is mix your food in that silage bucket, which I'm not sure if I really said on that, but there you go. You can mix it in. So you've got grass up there. You've got straw, or we'll say hay. I always say dried grass because some people wonder what hay is. It's not straw. So if you've got hay, dried grass up there, and you've got straw, and then you've got your other stuff in there as well, your silage. So it rolls all that up into one, so you can, I guess, use this to feed your bucket if you want to. And then obviously stop your stuff there, and we'll take that off. Show one thing really quick, just because they look phenomenal. This just kind of goes into showing what I was showcasing earlier with these mods, is that the animations and the way that all this stuff operates is just really flawless. You'll see that on the back here. Actually, let me flip camera view so we can see it. There we go. You got your hydraulic pistons, and this thing does. I mean, the animations actually have a little bit of an in and out, so they're not just a dried. You actually have a proper hinge that everything is animating on. and it looks great. I mean, it's a nice, good size front end bucket, and then it has this actual grabber on the front end, which you can see how it does extend the bucket versus the one in front of it is the same Beats bucket without the grabber on it. So you can kind of see how it does bring in the same way with the manure fork on the front there. You can see how it grabs that extra 500 pounds in there. And the same way with that one right there in front of me. Now this is your other generic bucket that basically picks up everything else minus Beats. And you can see how when that claw goes down, how much it grabs that extra bit in there. So I've actually chosen everything on here with the profile gain on it, except for this one right here, but it kind of comes already default with them. But it does have an extension on there. So it's just another bucket. Buckets galore. So there's one other thing that's pretty cool. No, actually two things. Now, for tractors that do not have front end loaders, this right here is an attachment that allows you to attach all of these items to this via using the arms on the front or the rear of the tractor. It allows you to control the hydraulics of those either or, no matter which way they go. Let's just see. I'm not sure. Now, this is a tractor with front loader, so this is actually going to be a live test on the video to see if this actually works, or I'm going to have to eat my words. We'll back up. So we'll pick that up. Now, this may not work reverse like this because this tractor does have a front end loader on it, so I'm not sure if it will work. We'll see. It doesn't look like it's going to let me on this one because this is a tractor that does have front end loaders. So anyway, make a long story short, if you're in a tractor that does not have the capabilities of a front end loader, evidently they've X'd these tractors out. Especially something like the Finn 800, if you want to have one of these in there, then you can hook these up, and this can be a part of hooking these systems up to this. Actually, you know what? I know. Never mind. I have to back this up. I would edit the video, but I'm kind of doing this live on the fly. Here's what you have to do. Sorry about this, guys. So you have to go up here and you have to buy, it's in the miscellaneous section, buy the CSZ adapter. And then what you'll want to do, come down here and you'll buy, let's go back to those pallet forks. You'll have to buy them with this right here, attacher type to the CSZ adapter. Of course, I'd have to move something out of the way. And that is how it actually works. So let's see if I can just push this out of the way without getting crazy here. Okay, that actually worked. Alright, now let's go back and let's purchase that again. Let the tractor stop so it doesn't roll back. There we go. So we'll pick CSZ adapter. Let's purchase it. Now, when we back up to it, there we go. So now you can control this just like anything else. Now, we'll say on the front end it has a little bit more give. There's something weird going on with this particular attachment. Every single thing that I've seen that it attaches to has this weird, almost where it falls off of it when you pull it all the way back. Now, it doesn't fall off. It just loses its, I don't know. You can kind of see what I'm talking about there. I guess you could purchase. I mean, you could get that and go wedge it right in, and then pick them up that way. It's a little bit unconventional to say the least, but maybe there's something wrong there that I'm just missing. I'll put that in and maybe file a bug with that and just see what's going on with that particular piece of it. So you do, at least that you do notice that it's there. So one thing, let me go back and pick my weight up because you're definitely going to need the weight. Now this is a kind of a cool thing. Now this is one of those expansion items that I always talk about. Is it necessary? No. Is it cool? Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Whether or not I actually use this a lot, I don't really know. It's a little bit. We'll just say it's a little bit overkill in some regards. But yeah, let's see. So basically, what we've got here is we've got two pieces that are hooked up together. We've got the hook lift arm, which comes in as at the very end. You got your lifting hook, and then the other piece that you need is right here, the rocker arm. The rocker arm attaches to the lifting hook, as you can see right there. And what you'll do is you'll take this over whatever you want to. Let's say this is a pallet of the seedling, the poplar seedling thing. So let's say I don't have a pallet, but I have one of these nifty lifting hooks. Well, by selecting the rocker arm, you have to make sure that that's selected. You can see in the bottom right there of the screen. It's a little, I know I've got mine as small as they'll go just so I can maximize my view, but it is the very forward. Right here's the back of the tractor. There's my front end loader. Here's the lifting hook, and there's the rocker arm. So I've got 3 attachments on the front of the tractor. When you hit RB or R1 if you're on Xbox, and you click your right thumbstick, you'll see that it pulls down the tension belts, which I think is awesome. Now I'm not sure. There you go. So you can, if you get up close to this, you can fasten the belt yourself. It does have 2. So if you wanted to do it manually, you certainly can. It's not required. You can just do a quick one over. But if you're one of those guys, so even especially like on PC, and you use the couple of those mods, like the manual attachment mods and those kind of things, which actually I would love to see something like that come out on a console. It would be awesome. Obviously it's scripted, but you can come down here and you can manually attach them there, hop back up into your trailer, and then there you go. You've got a small crane-like. Now you have to go slow with it because it does move a whole lot. But needless to say, it is a pretty cool little invention here. I mean, I like this. It's different, and just really for that reason only. You probably will use it and then you'll go ahead and trash it. But if you hit L1, RB, and then you click that right thumbstick, it will drop it. Now, at least with the front end loader, because I can put a weight on the back of here, it will pick up this water trailer. Telehandler does not have the option to do that, so it's probably not going to pick those up. You know, if you're thinking about that, the front end loader does work, but it's the same. It gets really hefty, and even you'll see it on this tractor once you get a good lineup here. And sometimes you'll hit it right, sometimes you won't. For the most part, the center picks up okay, but I've got the heaviest fent weight on here, and I'm still, yeah, you can still see, depending on, you know, I mean, it's a good way to showcase the tire compression in this in the sim. But you could expect that would probably happen in real life too. Keeping that as close as you can to yourself usually helps. Once you really extend it on that arm, it puts a lot of unnecessary stress on the tractor, but also a lot of stress on the rear end of the tractor when the weight is held as well. Because once you extend that arm all the way out, you know, it gets worse and worse. But needless to say, it actually works and is a good way to transfer this stuff if you don't like messing with the pallet fork. I mean, hey, it's pretty easy, right? Now, just a little quick thing that I did figure out on the test. This little rocker arm will pick up logs, but it'll only pick up one at a time, because I thought this would be great to hook this to the back of one of our, you know, bigger you know, tractors and be able to pull logs out of the woods. No, of course it doesn't work like that. So you've got that doesn't work, and also will pick up a bale and a round bale, but it only picks them up one at a time. I thought this would be really neat to see if we could pick up a 4 bale stack like this and be able to utilize it. And you know, just think about picking up bales that high. Well, it'll pick up one. So you know, just kind of keep that in mind. I mean, it will pick them up. Like I said, it only picks them up one at a time. So unfortunately, it doesn't do kind of what I thought we might be able to use with it. But in itself, it's still a pretty cool little toy there, and a pretty cool tool. And you'll enjoy it. I mean, I've already enjoyed kind of playing around with it and doing some of the stuff on there. Let's see, there we go. So there's the, take the rocker arm off, and we'll drop the tool there. They just come off in 2 separate pieces. So I think that's it for the CSC mod showcase. This is pretty much everything that we got on today, and this is as of April the 18th. Came in this morning. This is Tuesday morning, which is great to get a mod. So we've really been modless here the past 3 or 4 days. So this will be nice, nice to kick in. I'll probably be deleting some of my other mods that I've been using, and I'll be starting to feature these CSC mods. And so if you're interested in seeing these things in real time, working with the farm and whatnot, please think about coming back and joining one of the live streams. Got a great group of guys that are doing a lot of chatting and stuff on there. Enjoy hanging out with those guys every night. It's always fun. A lot of good times are had, and a lot of laughs, which is what it's all about. I enjoy hanging out with some of the community and doing what I can to further just knowledge of the sim itself, and then, furthering that knowledge out with other like-minded guys who enjoy the same stuff as me. So I just wanted to say a quick thing as in closing here. This is not really for those of you that watch this video, you guys will be like, oh, he's fixing to hit his rant. I always get some things to get on soapbox about when it comes to this game and how game developers are, but this is not Giants. This is a modder. This is a person like myself that's doing this and then offering this free of charge. So keep that in mind, especially if you're on console and you've got a few things. Like, I think there's probably a bug on this little adapter, but I can go in there and I can be mean about it and I can demand that he do something about it. And then it may not get done. But also I can go in there very respectfully and tell him what it's doing and tell him what happens when it does this, or file a bug report with it, and it happens when you do this and this and this. Here's a video of it doing it. Here's a picture of it doing it. Other than that, I love everything else. Everything else is perfect. It works. It does exactly what you say it does. Many thanks to you, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you wind up saying, make sure you're respectful. Make sure you let these guys know, too, that you appreciate what they're doing. Because, like I said, this is all free of charge. This is by far, if this had been FS15 and Giants would have said, hey, let's do this, this would have been easily a $4 or $5 tool pack to add on to Farm Sim. So keep that in mind. This stuff is completely free for us to be able to use all these cool new tools, and it's coming free at charge. So if you feel ever so inclined, throw these guys a few bucks. Throw them something, because most of these guys have PayPal accounts or they have some type of donation set up for their work. Most of them have social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, that they're pushing out updates of things that they're doing. Not everybody has that, but some of them do. So go ahead and give those guys an option, because the thing is, each one of these tools had to be done 4 times over. So it fits the CSZ attachment back there. They fit the front end loader, which is the big ones. You got the front loaders, which is what we've been working with here with the Frontline FC60, and also works on all the skid steers. So all these tools are interchangeable between all 3 things, and telehandlers, which is insane because we don't have any tools that are yet in this game, minus the stuff that Giants gave us in part of the vanilla game, that do exactly what this does. So this is a huge pack. So if you wind up going and downloading this, and you'll love it, let those guys know that you'll love it. Whether it's on the forums, whether it's on any other site that they have, social media sites, let them know that you appreciate it and that the stuff is awesome. Because that will continually keep those guys always thinking about console and thinking about mods in general as something that applies to the whole of the community. So I'm not going to talk any more about it. That's just, I want to make sure that I say that because I think that's extremely important. And remember, whether it's PC based or console based, we're all playing the same game and we're all doing this because we enjoy it. Always keep that at the back end and tail end of anything that you're doing with this game, because I think it does matter to those guys a lot. At least if it was me and I was doing this for free, it would matter to me a lot as well. So I'm sure it does to them. So I will bid you adieu with that little tidbit, and some would call it a rant, but we'll call it a little tidbit of info of just my plea to the community as a whole. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been rolling it as the video's been going through. Facebook, Full Tilt Gaming. I am active on there. Give that a like. I'm doing some Friday freebie giveaways. Got a few other things planned. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to implement them. YouTube makes it hard. So I probably will move to Twitch to do some giveaways and some other things that I'm thinking about doing, but I just need more subs to really kind of make ends meet on that and investment into the community. And we're talking about a money investment on my side. Gift cards, T-shirts, all these other things are great plans, but I just need a bigger community so that makes it worthwhile and that I can sell the stuff and give it away. So if you have not, as Twitter's rolling around, Full Tilt Gaming. Obviously, you found me on Full Tilt Gaming on YouTube, and Twitch is the same. I've not got anything on Twitch except it's ready to go, just waiting on me to start streaming there. So if you're on Twitch, throw me a follow over there, and then you'll be notified, obviously, whenever I do go live. And that hopefully will start here this late spring. Only other thing is, don't forget to like the video. Let me know that you did like it. If you disliked it and you don't care, then just don't put anything on there. I mean, dislike videos really don't help anything, and they just they tick people off, because I'm doing this in my free time. So I'm just trying to do something where I can, maybe those guys that are at work, you guys may need something on here to see a video on what all these new tools can do and what all is featured in these new tools, and hopefully this video will serve you well. Other than that, guys, my regular community will be live streaming tonight. Tonight is the 18th. We'll live stream at least every other night. Try to keep things fresh as long as we got new maps and new tools like this coming in. Always makes it fun. So if you have not subscribed to Full Tilt Gaming, please consider doing so. Obviously, throw a like on the way out the door here as you leave the channel. I certainly would appreciate it. It does help get the video in front of other people. And subscribe to Full Tilt Gaming, especially if you're interested in seeing more live streams. Jump in there, introduce yourself. I would love to meet more in the community and more of the subscribers to the channel. It is open and free chat for all. We do moderate how things are in chat somewhat, but most of all, it's a free conversation and a free hangout for all of us that enjoy this sim the same. So anyway, I hope you'll consider doing that, guys, and that's it from me here. I'm FTG, Full Tilt Gaming. Hope to see you on some of the social network. Hope to see you on some of the live streams, and we'll see you.